Hey guys, Anthony here with a food review. As you know, a few weeks ago I did a video on the Bridgeford sandwiches, like the MRE sandwiches, and I said I was going to upgrade and add to my get home bag and then also stock some of these. Well, I did that, and a fellow YouTube subscriber in a channel that I subscribe to called Analytical Survival, and I'll put his channel link in the description box, sent me a message on my Bridgeford sandwiches and said that he had done an extensive test on them and he thought highly of them. They tasted good. He gave me one of his favorite ones, which was the barbecue chicken, I believe. At any rate, I went back on his channel, and a couple years ago he did a food video. It's a multi-part video on things like what I'm going to show you today, you know, MREs, the Bridgeford sandwiches, and then store-bought items like these Hormel complete meals that are on the shelf. And so today I figured I would do a test of my own to see how these heat up and how they taste and give you a little bit of background on them. And so I went to Target today and I picked up a Hormel Spam and red beans, which is back here, and a Hormel chicken and rice, which is here in the front. And these are called, they're compleats. They're basically, you know, for one person. It's a complete meal. It's sealed in. It's made to microwave. However, in the field, you could do a couple things. An Analytical Survival channel, you know, mentioned you could put them in a, you know, a cup full of, you know, a bowl or a pot of boiling water, have them sit in that and heat up. And or, you know, you could put right out into a skillet and just heat it up in your small frying pan in the field and then eat it right out of there. Another thing I did was to increase the caloric intake. Something like these, you know, Uncle Ben's ready-made rices. In this case, it's the Market Pantry Heat and Serve rice. You know, this bag here could actually be placed into a canteen cup of water just the way it is and heat it up that way, or put into a skillet and heat it up that way as well if you open it. So we're going to test these out and see how they taste and go over the caloric intake on these. So we'll be right back and take a look. All right, looking at the Hormel Compleats, this one is, I said before, the chicken and rice. The good thing about these guys is, I'll show you right here, the shelf life. This meal is good till October 3rd, 2014, which gives me, you know, nearly 2 years shelf life. So if you're stocking these for camping, these would be great, and I'm going to stock a bunch of them for hurricane preps to have in your house in the event of a storm, a power outage for, you know, a couple, 3 days, you know, to have several dozen of these on hand. It's already cooked. I mean, you could eat it cold the way it is, but you could just heat it up very easily and have a good hearty meal in you. And this particular one, here's some of the nutrition facts. It's, again, I said one serving. It's going to give you 280 calories, which is good. 11 grams of fat, which is good. The only thing off the charts a little bit, you know, is the sodium, 990 milligrams. Again, you're not going to be eating these every single day. These are for special occasions, camping, bug out, hurricane kit, earthquake kit, you know, get out of Dodge kit. So you're not going to be particularly worried about the sodium intake. Carbs are good, 34 grams. Again, protein on the good level for this size meal. And again, it shows you how to, you know, heat up in the microwave, which we're not going to follow because we're going to heat these up unconventionally. And the Spam one and the red beans is almost the same. Again, the shelf life date on this, I should have checked, but this is good till May 14th, 2014, so a couple months sooner this comes due, but that's also a good shelf life as well. This is Spam and red beans with rice, and it is 380 calories, which is giving you more calories, which is good. A little less sodium, a little more fat than the other one, more carbs and more protein. So if you're looking for a more caloric dense meal, the Spam and red beans would be the way to go. Now we're going to taste these and see how they taste, and I'm sure they're very palatable, as most of the Hormel products I've tried are very good, especially the one in the can, the red beans with the chili. The chili with beans in the snap cans is very, very good. It's an outstanding meal by Hormel. And then again, you got your market rice. This is a whole rice medley. You got brown rice, rye, and red rice with chicken broth and herbs, which is good because you're going to get, you could actually turn this into with a little bit of water added to it. You could turn it into like a little soup and rice. And this is very caloric dense. You know, you got 2 servings out of this container, and it's 280 calories per serving. There you go. Your sodium, again, is a little high, but your protein is good. Your carbs are very good. And with this, the same thing. You could heat it up in a skillet or right inside the bag in some boiling water for a few minutes, and I'm sure this will be very palatable. Again, cost-wise on these babies, the Hormel trays are a very good price point, $2.19 a piece, and the rice, ready-made rice, $1.54 a pack, which is excellent. You know, you could stock a bunch of these, and the good thing is, guys, again, you don't have to cook it. It's not, you know, it's not gonna. You're not gonna have to dig into your stored rice, your stored beans, and have to cook those up. You got these pre-cooked and ready to go. So let's come back and give these a taste. Guys, we have our S-bit set out here right now with our alcohol burner with about 16. I think it's 20 ounces of water, just about 20 ounces of water, and we're going to light our stove, get this boiling, and then what we're going to do is put the Spam with red beans and rice into the water and see how it heats up while it's in the package without pouring it out. So let's light our stove. Stove's lit. We'll get our water on there, and as soon as that heats up, we'll be back. Alright, the water's heating up. It's not boiling, but let's take our packet of the Spam with red beans and rice. I'm just going to place it inside the container. Okay. A lot of the product drips down into the towards the bottom of the package, so most of the water is going to be around it. I just want to see what happens to the wrapping material. And our pot lid covers the remaining portion of this. Again, this is the S-bit with the alcohol stove. And then we'll be back as soon as this heats up. Okay guys, I've had this in now for about 4 minutes, and what I did was I pulled out the package and I flipped it so it's on the other side, just so I could heat it up evenly. And then what I'm going to do is, I used about, this is a 4-ounce bottle of alcohol, so you can see I used a little bit over an ounce. And here it's still going. And what I'm going to do is use the same water. When I pull this meal out, the Spam meal out, I'm going to put the bag of rice in and let it sit, and then see how that heats up as well, right inside the bag. And then the other Hormel meal, obviously the other Hormel meal is the same. procedure, just a different flavored meal, which we'll taste at another date. But tonight we're going to really looking forward to trying this one here, the Spam and red beans with rice. It's a new one out by Hormel, so looking forward to tasting that. Okay, I'm going to get ready to pull this off, open it up, and give it a taste and see how hot it is, the consistency, and see if this is a worthwhile type of way to heat it up. It seems like it is. The wrapper's still intact. There you go. It's in the pot on an angle, and then the lid is just covering it. So I'm going to pull this off, out, and put our rice in. I'll set this down here and we'll open it. Here's our rice packet. Our flame is still going, so we got a little bit, like an ounce and a half of alcohol for this as our fuel source. Putting the bag in, and I'm covering the whole thing up with the pot lid, and then we'll be back. Let this heat up, and we'll be back to taste the Spam. Alright guys, you simply pull the paper back. Okay, now exposes our meal. We're going to just stir it around a little bit, see how hot it is, and give it a taste. This is the consistency. That's what it looks like. Spam, red beans and rice. Now we'll give it a taste. It's really good. It's got a lot of kick to it, a lot of heat. There must be some Tabasco in here or something. It's pretty hot. Hot as far as spicy. And as far as the heating goes, I probably could have kept it in for a few more minutes. Our rice here is boiling, and our alcohol is still going strong, ounce and a half. I probably could have kept this in a little bit longer, but it's definitely palatable. Definitely tastes good. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add some rice out of the bag that I'm boiling and give this a little more rice in it. So let's cut that back and try that mix. Alright, our rice is, the water's boiling here in this pot. I don't know if you can see it, but it's boiling. Got a rolling boil. I'm going to simply open this bag of rice while it's in the pot. And I'm going to see how hot it is. Okay, just need some more time to sit in the water. Let me take some from the bottom. See if it's hotter. This is good too. I took some from down lower in the bag and it's hotter. But again, I would leave this soak for about 4 or 5 more minutes to get hotter. But my idea was to mix some of this rice in with what I have here, increasing the calories and increasing this consistency of the Hormel product. Just giving more rice in it. So, you see what I did here. I'm going to add that in and then taste it again. Now I got a little bit more consistency, a little bit more of a hearty meal, and it's going to fill me up. Goes great with it. Just more rice in the mix. God, this would be a great meal. Hurricane meal. A meal you don't have to cook really. A meal you could eat cold if you have to. And for $2.19 for the Hormel products and $1.54 a bag of rice, it's worth stocking up on these things and having them in your preps, and just giving you another layer of backup of food that's ready to eat. You know, something different than maybe an MRE type meal. So if you've tried this, let me know what you think. I think it's great. It's got good taste, and I'm going to definitely stock up on more of these Hormel products and these Market Pantry rice products. Thanks for watching. Send me your questions and comments, and stay ready. Anthony signing off.